It's in the game. We're in the game. We're not in the game. That's a lie. We will be. Eventually. Headroom? Headroom? Headroom. We fixed it. We did it. Woo! Guys. Lots of fun. Lots of fun starting tonight. We are on game 25. 25 starts tonight. Technically not 25 because we're actually on track to beat more than that. Let's see here. Uno momento. 21 beaten is 24. We're on 24 currently. 25 out of games beaten this year. Beaten, not played, beaten. Samir. Also, hello, hi. So we are currently in progress. I have 3 games in progress at the moment, which is about as many as I can handle. Like that's maybe the most I can handle. Here they are. Someone is an overachiever. Someone has too many games to play. So, you know, like I was telling you when we hung out, I did the math, and assuming I buy no more games, based on my average number of games beaten as of 2020, which was not normal, if I kept that pace up, it would take me 10 years to beat all the games I have. So that's a problem and insane. So I was like, well, let's step it up and try and do our best and get as many as we can. So last year I forgot. Hold on. I can tell you exactly. Hellboy, it's been a decade though. Facts. Let's see these lists. Hold on, wait. Come on, GG. Here we go. Where it be? Where's it at? I have a whole list. I listed them out. 2020 games beaten. Here we go. I beat 31 games last year. Okay. Actually, I think it was 32, but I'm missing one and I forget which one it was. Let's just say 31 for the sake of argument. So if I on average beat 31 games a year, but without buying any new games, you see the issue. You see the problem. Good news though, as I said, we are currently on pace. We're at 24. Starting tonight, Dead Space. I'm in the middle of Okami. And I'm also just started Metroid Dread. So there we go. How am I viewing what? My list? How am I viewing my list? I have a list. I have spreadsheets. I track all of my stuff. These are my my things. Welcome to my brain. This is my brain. Here's my games list. This is just the ones in progress. Here's all the ones that I've beaten so far. How am I viewing this? The number of games beaten, or like how I've actually calculated them? Yeah. So the beginning, like, you know, last year I had a lot of free time, obviously, and so I decided to make a system to track a lot of stuff, mostly my video games and like how I'm tackling them, we'll say, because it kind of got to a point where I was overwhelmed. And every time I get overwhelmed with something, my immediate thought is, okay, how do I break it down into small bite-sized steps? And so the first thing I did was I went into Steam and organized all my games into categories based on, hey, have I actually beaten this game? Do I want to replay this game? Have I played it, like shelved it? Like I'll get to it eventually, but like it's not anywhere near a top priority, or like, should I just pass on it, or is like an endless game? Because there's a lot of games that are endless, you know what I mean? So I went through and categorized them all, and you know, here we are. That spawned into a giant list of every game that I have. So, you know, no big deal. That's not crazy at all. It's not crazy at all. Anyway. Tonight, we start Dead Space. Because I'm pretty sure I've beaten it in the past, but I don't remember it and I have no recollection of it, so I'm just going to assume that I've never played it. Makes sense. Makes sense, right? So, I just say we just get into it, because why not? Also, fun thing about this whole playthrough, we are going to be using an actual 360 controller with a little wireless boy that I have, instead of the Xbox One controllers that work flawlessly, or that work fine. And the reason is, for some reason, this works better with Dead Space. Kind of makes sense because it came out like in 2008, before EA just like was the worst thing of all time. So whatever. Not 100% on why that happens, but for whatever reason, this controller works better. Also, I'm really glad I tested this game out beforehand, because there's a game-breaking bug at the very beginning of the game if you play on anything above 1080p or 720p 30, which, of course I do. Of course I play on higher than 1080p or 720p 30. That's insane. You have a Switch Pro controller? I do. I have technically, well, I have one actual Switch Pro controller, but I have also the best Switch controller, which, let me just go ahead and show y'all what this is. SN30 Pro 2. This is the best Switch controller. Right here. This is the best one. The 8BitDo Pro 2 is amazing. You can hook it up straight through Steam if that works better. It doesn't. It doesn't, because I tested it. And just so we're clear, I have an Xbox One controller. I have the Xbox, like the wireless thingamajig to plug in. I actually also, yes, this controller is the best. This controller is the best. Look at it go. Look at it go. So I have that controller, and I also have another Waluigi controller, because it's Waluigi, and obviously. But anyway, I did some testing, because I always try and test as many options as possible. Generally speaking, for whatever reason, any newer controller, this, if I plug a PS3 controller directly in, if I plug a PS4 controller directly in, if I do a Switch controller, if I do a Wii U Pro controller, all of those technically work with Dead Space. However, this one works best. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. It's probably something to do with the weird way this game was built. Because as I said before, I had to do a lot of fixes to make this crap even work at 1440p on like a normal-ish, like getting it to work at 60 FPS consistently and not have a game-breaking bug was a pain in the butt. Anyway, we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it. We're here. Is it working? Yes. 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 So, Samir, that's the long tail of me trying to get different controllers working with this game. Technically, some of them do, but legitimately, like the aiming, like it's I guess it's trying to like simulate a mouse input or something. Whereas like this one actually recognizes it as like a default controller. I could not tell you why. It's really weird. Anyway, new game on medium, because we could play on easy, but you know, we're not children. Because children shouldn't play this game. This game's rated M for mature. M for mature adults with better sense of understanding that this isn't real. Game just plays better on controller instead of mouse and keyboard. Yes. There's a mouse acceleration issue that is a SOB to fix. It is a pain, it is more of a pain to fix than getting this thing to work. As I said, older games. It's just, It's fine. It's fine. It's fine, but I didn't really feel like jumping through all those hoops to get it to work. Personally. Plus, I kind of feel like this game was designed with the mouse and keyboard, or with the controller in mind over mouse and keyboard, and trying to stick as close to that like initial vision, I think, is important or helpful.
It's me. I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry.
But I'm weird like that.
I'm sorry about everything. I wish I could just talk to someone. It's all falling apart here. I can't believe
Twitch when my internet's bad, am I right?
it's strange.
I'm sorry. I can leave. I can go. If you
How
want.
many times you watched that thing? Guess you really miss her.
Shut up, lady.
Don't worry, we're almost there. You'll be able to look her up once we're on board.
This lady's hair is just kind of
We have
like
a lot of catching up to do.
Spawn's cape. It has a mind of its own.
Sinking our orbit now.
Makes no sense.
All this trouble over that chunk of rock.
Deep space mining is a lucrative business, Ms. Daniels.
Yeah.
Aegis 7 is a gold mine according to prospectors.
Plus, I mean, like, look at this cool controller, Samir. Like, come on.
Silicon,
A
osmium.
red and black
Now,
360 controller
There she is. We have visual contact.
with little nubbins on the, you know.
So that's Ishimura. Impressive.
the USG Ishimura.
Yeah.
Biggest planet cracker in her class. And it looks like they already popped the cork.
There it is.
Why is it all dark? I don't see any running lights.
Corporal, take us in closer and hail them. And stay clear of that debris field. We're here to fix their ship, not the other way.
Makes it more gamery. Yeah, you get the gamer grip.
USG Ishimura, this is the emergency maintenance team of the USG Kellion responding to your distress
I think that's
call.
what they were called.
Come in, Ishimura.
Gamer grips.
You're gonna need to boost the signal if their power's
Yes,
low.
we know.
Ooh, he told her. He said, I know. Leave me alone. I run this ship, not
Never heard
you.
of a total communications blackout on one of these things. You'd think with 1,000 people on board, someone would pick up the phone.
You'd think. Hopefully nothing happened to them.
What is that?
Great question.
It's a busted array like we thought. Sounds like they're having problems with their encoder. You get us down there and Isaac and I can fix it.
I have a lot to say about this game, by the way.
All right, you heard
I'm gonna
the
let
lady.
this roll for
Take
a
us in
second.
and see what needs fixing.
Gravity tethers engaged. Automatic docking procedures a go.
Uh-oh.
What the hell? Sir, the auto dock. What is it?
Oh, so many things.
Hit the blast shields. That guidance tether's damaged. Switch to manual, now.
Inside the magnetic field? Are you insane? Abort!
Joe, we can make it inside. Corporal, gave you an order.
Seems bad. Seems bad.
Is everyone okay?
What? What the hell were you thinking? Were you trying to get us killed?
Just
I
you.
just saved our asses, Miss
No.
Daniels. If we had aborted at that speed and distance, we'd have smashed right into the side of the Ishimura. Now settle down. Let's get to work. Corporal, report.
I'm not getting any readings from the port booster, and we've lost comms and autopilot. It'll take some time to fix.
All right, let's get some extra hands from flight deck to help out.
Oh, there goes her crazy hair again.
Hold still, Isaac. I'm syncing up everyone's rig with the ship.
I know,
Okay,
right?
We're done. Clean bill of health for everyone.
Right, Samir? Just
right.
like, come on.
We've still got a job to do.
Look at this
Moving
guy's
out.
flat head. Look at his flat head. Meh. Meh. I got a flat head. Nah. Look like a Dick Tracy villain. That helmet doesn't, though. That helmet is tight. Okay. We're at a spot where I can actually talk. Tell me how to run.
Use run to move quickly.
Thank you, game. So this game, I know, right? This helmet is just too cool. This game came out in a really weird spot in EA's history. Like, this is right before EA started
You
getting
didn't
just
lose power
like,
to the port booster. You lost the port booster.
that's broken.
Unbelievable.
The Ishimura was the
Hold on, this robot lady's gonna talk for a while.
and is now the oldest service.
There's basically like interactive cutscenes here. But long story short, This is right before EA went like crazy, and they were actually coming out with like some pretty sweet games. And then like 2 years later,
Power's down everywhere.
like 2010-ish is when stuff just started
Get over
getting
here,
whack.
the door pad.
Like extra whack. Vis-a-vis. Thank you, game. Vis-a-vis like EA's business practices and stuff. Exactly. I mean, think about it. This is like the era of Dead Space, of Mirror's Edge, of oh gosh, Mass Effect. Like this is when they're trying cool, new, weird stuff, and it works. It works. Like all of those games are classics. This game is a classic. It's got problems,
Seems like everyone was trying
but
to pack in a hurry.
still.
There should be a security detail in here.
Yeah? Well, there's not. There's nobody here. I can't pick up any broadcast.
Yeah, see.
That security.
Then they got
console-
boring and money hungry. Yes, exactly.
Isaac, log in and see what you can find. Kendra, get that elevator back online.
Power's dead. I can't.
Kendra sucks.
Damn power.
Man, I can't do it, man.
We all cooperate. We can figure this out a lot.
He's like, something's not right. I'm trying to live.
Display up, Isaac.
I'm gonna save first, though.
Use the locator system
Thank you.
to find your next objective.
Thank you, Rig. Thank you. Save. There we go. Very important in this game. Very important in this game to save. Because, do not believe the autosave system is fantastic. This one. Poor BioWare, first Andromeda, then Anthem, took a big hit to the rep. Imagine. Crazy how EA forcing them to, like, push games out before they're done might be a bad idea. Weird.
Huh, that doesn't look good. She's taking a lot of damage.
Flathead is gonna get it. I'm just letting you know.
Getting around is gonna be difficult.
I gotta be prepared to move. Hold on.
Flung again. That's a start.
What the hell was that?
Automatic quarantine must have tripped when the filtration system restarted.
Nope.
Everybody relax.
Nope. Bad news.
What was that?
Not sure.
The hell? I don't know. Something's in the room with us.
Uh-huh. Uh-oh.
Jesus! Overfire!
Uh-oh. Alright, I gotta go. Go. Yeah, I'm going. Shut up. This is a very tight tolerance to get to this elevator when you're playing at a high frame rate. They get really close and it's a little scary. They might not be able to. Oops. Oopsies. You don't think they'll be able to walk that one off? What do you mean? What about this guy? You think he'll be able to walk this off? They won't let me stomp yet. Dang it. Okay, so see that door? That door, if I did not make sure this game worked before I started playing it, super important. That door stops you from making any more progress if you don't fix a few things. It is ridiculously broken. Also, this guy's apparently my new best friend. I know. Here we go. Oopsies. Yeah. Gosh, this game rules. Anyway, so there's just a lot of stuff in this game that, like, also it's really important to understand the context of when this game came out. This is 2008. This is a few years after RE4, and I think it's around the same time as RE5. When did RE5 come out, actually? Hold on. RE5 was kind of the downfall of RE for a while. When did RE5? I think RE5 was 2009. If I'm a betting man. RE5 5 release date. 2009, calling it 2009. Okay, so RE5's in development. This game comes out post RE4, pre RE5, and is a really good like. Oh my god, yes, I know. Get health. Got it. Anyway,
This is Benson. Everybody listen
it's
up.
like
They're using the vents. That's how they're getting around the ship.
a really
Get away.
unique idea.
Get back.
This idea should not. It's a perfect idea, but like nothing like this existed. The closest thing was like Metroid.
God, I can't believe you made it.
Isaac.
And the fact that EA took a gamble.
Are you okay?
More what?
I mean, like, can you imagine EA today making a gamble like this? No way.
Whatever they are, they're not friendly. And half the
No
doors on
way.
the ship are locked because of the quarantine.
Also, rip
We have to
Visceral.
get to the bridge. But first,
Rip
gotta
Visceral.
get the tram system.
Thanks, EA.
You're crazy, Hammond. You're gonna get us all killed.
If you listen to me, I will get you out of here alive. Now, what's wrong with the tram?
The data board is fried, but there should be a spare in the maintenance bay. There's also a broken tram blocking the tunnel that needs to be repaired. Damn it, everything is on the other side of this quarantine. We can't reach it from here.
No, we can't.
But Isaac can.
Isaac, if I can get to the bridge...
I
I should be
know.
able to
I know.
access
Battlefield
the
Hardline was great.
You fix the tram.
It was not a very good Battlefield game, but it was a really fun game. It's the same thing with like the problem with it is that, like they try to shoehorn it into like the Battlefield stuff. And there was such like a stigma for like that game specifically, or that series specifically. But Hardline's really fun. Hardline's really fun. It's not perfect. Again, like there's very few perfect games, but like it does a lot of stuff really right. And you know, it's a real shame they were like, it didn't sell 1 billion copies because it's a weird niche side game. So we're gonna, you know, like kill your studio. Sucks. Bye. We're EA. We don't care. You know what we'll do instead? I got it. Let's get an exclusivity license, with the NFL, so that there's no competition, and we'll start adding in weird microtransactions to all of our games to really just make people real mad. Seems like a good idea. Trying to remember the last time I pre-ordered when we were talking the other day, and it was Hardline. Nice. Well, hey, none of that. Being that you are a big Battlefield stan, as we will say, that makes total sense.
This is Benson, Tram Engineering. We think we figured it out. Smith killed one. Listen, forget about shooting him in the body. You gotta cut off the limbs.
This is the annoying part.
Anything like that. Cut them apart.
They do overly emphasize, and I guess it's a fair assumption, because again, RE4 was like in people's mind of like the big thing. This game was like, okay, instead of shooting them in the head, shoot their limbs off first, which is a slightly different idea, but I kind of think it works really well, especially in this game. They overly emphasize it, but I think it's fair. Like this. It's the third time I've heard this in like 2 minutes. Fourth time in 2 minutes. They're like, by the way, do not shoot for the head. It is a waste of your ammo. Anyway, I just think that like the context of when this game came out, it's so important to understand. Like horror was basically dead at this point. Horror games did not exist the way they do now in 2008. So for EA to take a gamble on like this kind of a game in 2008 was insane. They should have just left it on the wall. I agree. I agree, Tanner. Also, hi, Tanner. Tanner, you recently played this game, didn't you? I did. Nice. Did you play it on PC? I'm asking because I had to do some configuration fun stuff to get it working properly. And for whatever reason, playing it with this controller works a lot better than other ones. It's a little jump scare heavy, but it's not that bad. I correct in remembering that you can get different helmets in this game, or is that the sequel? I don't remember. I think Tanner might be able to tell you that better. I'm not like up on stuff with like the Dead Space lore. What's the whole game? The jump scare stuff? Yeah, jump scares. It's a huge jump scary kind of game.
Your stasis module should be able to help you with that arm mechanism.
You don't say. I'm sure Tanner's like 100% of this game, or come close to it, or something. Who's doing something? Hey, what's up, buddy? I don't think you can get different ones until 3. I think you can get different ones in 2. Again, not 100% sure. You know better than me. But I thought you could get some in 2. Maybe not, though. Hey, none of that. Oh, whoops. You have not 100% of this game. Well, fair enough. Getting some real nostalgia for this game? Listen, this game rules. Only 3 on 360. Nice. Did you 100% it in multiplayer? Because I've heard it's really fun in multiplayer. It's real good? Nice. Boy, this game goes from like not loud to very loud very quickly.
The tram is blocking the whole system. When you get the computer on,
It's the only real way you should play 3. Oh, I know. I know. That's what I've heard. I have it on what's that? Whatever that the like Origin thing, whatever that was before they got rid of it. I think I have it on there. I got it for free. But oh yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying, Samir. Like, what's crazy, but it blows my mind that this is an EA game. Like, knowing what I know about EA as a company now, this game should not be in their repertoire. It's absolutely insane to me. I mean, it's great. I love it, but like, I don't know. I wish they would go back. They have enough money to be able to do this kind of stuff, and they're kind of trying to with stuff like Unraveled and like the Josef Fares games, but like even those aren't really the same, if you know what I mean. Like they're not the same as like a full AAA experiment. And granted, I will say, like, from a business perspective, it doesn't make a lot of sense to do this as like as an experiment. Like, just purely business wise, this game is not something that they should have taken on, but they did anyway. And like, I applaud them for it. The game kind of feels like an indie with a gigantic budget behind it, like a lot of innovations for the time. It doesn't, but I mean, that's the thing. It's like, it doesn't feel like an indie. It just feels like a AAA game. Like, it feels like a AAA game with an indie concept. And that's what I love about it. That's like, to me, those are the most fun kinds of games. Not always, but like they usually are. Like, give me the weird stuff. I want the weird stuff. Give me the weird stuff with a good budget. You know, I think that's why I liked like, I like Grasshopper Manufacture games a lot for some reason. Hey, nah, none of that. Give me them arms, baby. Give me them arms. So like the No More Heroes series, Killer 7, oh, what's the other one? Shadows of the Damned. Those are all like really weird experimental games. They don't have quite the same budget as like Dead Space, obviously. Hi, arm. You just come with me now? Okay. Well, this arm's mine, so let's just take that forever. Here we go. And this is our arm now. Yes, thank you. The YouTubers I watch that does video essays did a whole video about how we need more weird games. I totally agree with you. I'm not taking that with me. I don't know if the controls on keyboard and mouse felt really floaty or the same. I don't know if the controls on keyboard and mouse feel really floaty. Are they the same on controller? They're really precise on controller.
The data board should be somewhere inside.
Like they feel fantastic. And I was telling Samir before you hopped on, Tanner, that I spent a lot of time testing different controllers to see which one works, because this game came out in 2008, obviously. And I found that you using the original 360 controller with like a wireless thing that I've had works the best. For some reason, like the acceleration of like the aiming is perfect on this controller, and it feels really weird on like the Xbox One controller. I don't know why. It's probably something to do with like the drivers, but I decided to like, because I tested it with the mouse and keyboard, and it was fine, but it wasn't like, I don't know, it didn't feel like something I wanted to play the entire game at, like, if that makes sense. Are you good, or? Oh, she said where it was, didn't she?
Isaac, you still need to find the data board.
Yeah. Mouse felt pretty bad for me. I didn't really enjoy it, Tanner. Like I was testing earlier, and like I thought it was kind of whack, so I switched to the keyboard, the controller, and it was much better, I felt. So I was contemplating going to pick this game up on like actual 360 and like play it the old school way, but that would involve me like, going to get the disc and plugging in the system over there, and I already have it on. I bought this game. This is one of the first games I bought on Steam. They had like a double pack of like this game and like the sequel. I hear you. Shut up. One behind me. Hey, one behind me. Hey, buddy, what's up? Another one? No. Yes. Another one? No. I like the stomp mechanic. I really like. Like, there's so many things I enjoy about it. Like, there's such good ideas. The jump scariness, I'm a little over already, but it's all right. That's, again, that's context, right? Like, context of horror back in like 2008 was there hasn't been a genuinely horror focused game in a while. The closest one, like I was saying before, was RE4. RE4 kind of blew the doors off everything. Survival horror was basically dead. Like RE, Code Veronica, and RE3 were not nearly as good as people thought they should be. Then RE4 just kind of crushed it. So then everyone was like, how do we make an actually spooky game with RE4 controls? And they just decided to add in a bunch of jump scares, which is fine. I get it. Did I just do like a circle? Once the jump scares stop getting you, this game is not bad. This game's, yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. My main problem with jump scares as like a concept is that they're not actually scary. They're just startling. You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of like one of those things where it's like a misnomer. Like it's not scary. It's not a jump scare. It's a startle. It's a game for babies. Yeah, fair. Okay, I love that too. Like it's a little handholdy. This thing's a little handholdy, but it's not nearly as much as it could be. Ooh, going in here, I guess. Up we go. The only thing I will say is this game is, as are most horror games, tough to balance auditorily. 3 is very handholdy. Of course it is. Of course it is, because they were trying to appeal to too many people. The best quote I heard about this game and like its kind of sequels was that Dead Space is a game that a few people... Well, hold on, let me say this. Dead Space 3 is a game that a lot of people think is okay, but Dead Space 1 is a game that a few people love. You know what I mean? And I think there's a lot to say for having a game that is actually more focused and appeals to less people. Sounds counterintuitive, but I think if you get like a niche game, the more niche a game can be, to a point. Like, you know what I mean? Like JRPGs are a really good example of like there's a level, and then like once you cross that level, it becomes a little bit difficult to actually sell your games. That's why JRPGs are so expensive and they become so rare, is because no one buys them. Or let me rephrase, very few people buy them. So, you know, I don't know, something to say for that. Something to say for having a niche title that appeals to a niche group, rather than like, how can we make this game appeal to Joe Everyman? Our core demographic of 18 to 34-year-old white men really like games where they feel like they have power. How can we appeal to that? Like, I don't really care about that anymore. Like, I'm just over. I've been over that for a long time. Can we get some more weird games, please? Can I make a controversial? Get out of here, bodies. Get out of here. Yes. Yes. This. I love this. Weird collision stuff. But we are the 18 to 34. I know. Weird how I'm saying that maybe my demographic is... Maybe the demographic that I'm in shouldn't be the only demographic that we focus on. Weird. Weird. What's up, Absolute? Y'all want to hear a crazy statement? This might be a controversial statement, but I think it's gonna be lies. Controversial statement. Ready? Y'all ever played God Hand? Let's talk about a niche game for a minute. God Hand is such a weird niche game. Now, I need to be 100% I am the gamer I game. Listen, you can be the gamer in game. I just don't want to play the same game 40 times. That's why, again, I bring this up all the dang time. This is why I'm so over the Assassin's Creed series, man. I'm just so, it's the same daggone game every single year, and people eat it up. I'm like, come on. Dead Space, more like Debt Space, American Space. We got them. Hey, shut the stream off, everybody. We did it. We did it. Shut the stream off. I'm just kidding. Good one, Amy. You got him. Hi, Amy. What's up? After 3, I was done. Metroid is my cocaine now. Okay. Well, I didn't know you were into cocaine beforehand. So, also, maybe not. What game do people eat up? Assassin's Creed. The one, the bane of my existence. Assassin's Creed? Who's not into some no snow? Good point. AC's fine. I'm fine with it. I still didn't get the data board? Come on. I didn't. Good old White Lightning. Oh, Metroid. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Absolutely, you've played one game. Listen, I know I'm playing the game right now. It's really good. It's a really good game. Don't get me wrong. Bold, very bold statement to say it's your favorite series or one of your favorite series with the one game. I'm here for it. Don't get it twisted. I'm here for it. Anyway, I hate Assassin's Creed. It's like, it's fine. It's fine, but it's the same game. And then you know, I've got my friends who are like, but they changed it up with Origins. I'm like, Origins is not a good game. Origins is fine. How do I input a Steam key? Are you serious? I can't show you. It'll kick me out of the game. You go to, well, there's several other people in here who will be able to tell you how to do that. Add game button. There it is. Watch a lot of reviews, and I love the others now. You gotta absolute. You gotta play them still. Like, I appreciate it. I love me some Metroid, but don't just blindly say you like it. Give it a try. Try it for yourself. And then have the same opinion, because they are very good. You could, at the very least, you could play Metroid Fusion. You could probably emulate most. You want to know what other series you love? Tell me. Oh, I can upgrade my weapons. Only thing I need is the plasma cutter. Plasma cutter only, baby. Do you love Dead Space? Well then. Here we are. Segways. I love the fact that you are not actually safe when you're upgrading anything. When you're doing anything, you're not actually safe. I love it. I do want to upgrade my thing, though. I hear someone. I'm so glad I have headphones, because I would not have heard him. It was a lie. It was a lie. They're tricking me. Plasma cutter. We want this one. Here, yes. Only safe place for sure is elevators. Yeah, exactly. I know at least 5 people who have played Dead Space in the last 2 weeks. No kidding. Well, it's real good, so that's good. Makes a lot of sense. I heard it referred to the Shine first when I was a kid, but I've heard Coke being referred to as White Lightning too, mostly when I became an adult. Seriously, though, I really have enjoyed Dread. It's a solid game. It's really hard, but also rewarding. I agree.
Tram control and slot it into the computer array. That should get the tram system back online.
I agree. It's because we're in Florida. Fair. Fair. Yeah, Dread is really good. Dread is very good. I started playing it. Get out of here. Get out of here. It's better than Mississippi. I don't think I've been here long enough to say fully, but I'm just going to say better than Mississippi. I'm from the hills. We have more moonshine than Coke. That's fair. That sounds like something people in Kentucky would say. Kentuckians. Final boss should be tuned a bit because it's frustratingly hard. I'm going to be fine about it. All I know, pro gamer, no problems. I'm gonna record myself beating it, absolutely, and just post it on YouTube and be like, look how easy this game is. It's a game for babies, you know? This is a joke. I'm just kidding. I have no idea. It's probably gonna be really hard. That freaking Emmy counter is so difficult. Holy crap. The Emmy counter is insane. Not Emmy Kong counter. Don't get, hey, calm down. Everyone calm down. It is so tight. Like, there were a few times when I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Here we go. Here we go. Had some strawberry shine when I was younger. Straight from the still. That'll put hair on your chest. That will put some hair on your chest, I'll tell you that much. What is this Emmy counter? EMMI counter. Close. Close. It's from Metroid Dread. There's these big giant robots that like attack you and you can counter them. Managed to get a hang of it, that's fair. That explains what exactly.
All right, we're on board and heading to the bridge.
Apple moonshine in Colorado, it made me smell.
The quarantine just lifted.
Oh,
Whatever was in
gross.
the White Lounge must have left. That's lucky for us.
Are they just getting on the train that I fixed for them? Come on.
We'll find out what we can from the bridge and meet you there.
If we live that long, you're out of your league, Hammond. This is suicide. We're going to
Your
die
lack
out
of
here.
confidence in me is duly noted, Miss Daniels. But I have
Yeah,
a mission
Kendra
complete.
sucks.
That's exactly what I am going to do, with or without you. Do we understand each other?
Kendra sucks.
Just get us out of here alive.
This main character needs to activate his core to stand up straight, but he's got to be hunched over in a spooky stance. This is the quintessential spooky stance, everybody. Here you go. Ready? Spooky stance. Ready for spookiness. I'm ready to take on any and all spookies because I'm in spooky stance. Really just let the lower back take all of the weight of your upper body in the lower back as much as possible. Spooky stance. See, like do some of these spooky stance. It's all tactical. It's all tactical. It's all tactical. How many times can I say that? What am I doing? $25 out of 100% chance I'll counter it. You have to be. It's not only frame perfect, but there are different animations for every single. It's insane. Oh, I know. I'm really glad they did it that way. Absolute, like no joke. Because if it had been too easy, people would just would have been like, oh, well, this game's an actual game for babies. But now it's like, oh no, this thing sucks to do. You should really just not get caught. You know. If they weren't making it during Prohibition, if they weren't inventing NASCAR by trying to get it away from the cops, then it's not good shine. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. The lack of a what's the word I'm looking for? Is it gonna pop up? You gonna pop up, homie? No, he's good. Good for now. NASCAR was a side effect. This is true. Scrolling through my Steam library, I actually have Costume Quest. Hey, I don't remember buying it. Welcome to my life. That's most of the games I own on Steam. Like, when did I get this? When did I get this game again? It's solid. It's solid. It's a good weekend game. Just like pick it up in a weekend, beat it. It doesn't take that long. It's fun. It's funny. It's quite funny. There he goes. Everything about Dread is the cutscenes. Oh my gosh. Dude, the cutscenes? Whoever the director is for the cutscenes in Metroid Dread needs to get a raise. There he goes again. Because Samus looked the coolest she's ever looked. Bye. Yeah, okay, bye. We both know my ADD is not gonna let me beat it. Get out of here. I hear you back there. It's like 8 hours though. It's not that bad. I believe in you. That's how I walking trying to get a towel after showering without one. What, like this? Just to kind of like dry off as you move. Kind of effective. I get that.
It's a nightmare up here.
It's a nightmare.
We're going to try to get to the command computer. Wish us luck.
Good luck. Do it like in Star Fox 64. Good luck. These creatures have no quit. I respect their hustle. Straight up. Straight up though. Mad respects. They on that grind, you know what I'm saying? That grind life. There's nothing that drives me crazier than people saying like I'm on that grind. I'm like, okay, but like I know people who are actually on that grind and like the grind's not a fun thing. Grind's not a fun thing. Don't grind, people. Don't grind if you don't have to. If you have to, then like fine. But don't if you don't. I just drives me crazy. None of that. None of that. Who's here? I see someone here. Wah. Boom shakalaka. Boom shakalaka. I'm on that smooth currently. Highly recommended. Yeah, no kidding. Samir was chilling the other day. No concerns, no worries. Except for, you know, the driving and stuff. About the new God of War? Oh yeah, the cutscenes. Yeah, I didn't finish my thought on the cutscenes. Like, yo, Samus is just the coolest she's ever been, bar none. The way that they make her move is true to the character. It's so cool. It's so cool. And like the how smooth she is, it's crazy. It's crazy. I went to the gym tonight, so no studying. That's why I'm here. Perfect. I like that. Hey, none of that. Except for locking the keys in the car. That was less than ideal. That's fair. This game is so loud. Oh. I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening. I was too busy. Hey, this ship's gonna blow up. Are you good? Nah, none of that. None of that.
What the hell is happening down there?
No, it's not loud for you? Oh, okay, good.
Roads are right home.
Never mind.
It's the only way off the ship.
Yeah, Star Wars, Bill, yes.
No, Hammond! This changes everything!
Just let me think.
Star Wars. It's basically Star Wars.
Command computer.
It's kind of accurate.
It's no good. There's an executive lockdown of all primary systems. Without the captain's authorization, I can't access them.
Hey, Kendra, just deal with it.
Here he is.
It is in space.
Captain Benjamin Mathias.
This is more entertaining than Star Wars. Shots fired.
Med lab.
Shots
Status?
fired.
Deceased.
What? How?
I can't access that information.
Knowing a lot of the plot, it is kind of like that, yeah.
With his authorization codes, I can crack this computer wide open.
The most interesting part of Star Wars is the entirety of the Clone Wars TV show.
I'm sending the tram back to your location.
It's the side content that's the most interesting.
And find that rig as fast as you can.
What was that?
What was that? Clone Wars is very good. Agreed. Where am I going? That way. Here we go. Bill, what's up? I appreciate you popping into the old Discord-eroni. They're very dead. Another thing that Dread is so faithful to the OG 4 main gun games. Very true. Eating ice cream? Bill, I thought you were on a diet. What happened? I thought you were on a diet. What happened? Is it like the Halo Top ice cream? That stuff is good. This stuff is good. They got some coconut stuff. They got some coconut milk based ice cream. It is delicious. Delicious. Absolute, I 100% agree with you. The way that they were able to take the story, Tillamook's very good. The way that they were able to take the story of like the main game and like move through stuff. The second sector boss in Dread, there's a cutscene I know you will love, Yuke. Second sector. The lava one? Were we talking about the lava one? Is that the one we're talking about? I think I beat that one already. I think. Oh, with Kraid? I already beat Kraid. Kraid was tight. Big boy Kraid was tight. I did enjoy that though, you're right. My old man self was like, I remember playing this back in Super Metroid. It's just like this. That's exactly how I sounded while I was doing it too. I was like, oh yay, this is for me. Much further than I thought. I only played it for like 2 hours. Hey, no, I hear something. Oh, it's this. Store time. Cool. Oh, there we go. Pulse rifle, that's gonna be good. Let's go and get that level 2 suit. Pump it up. Yeah, this is not disconcerting. Another thing about this game that I absolutely love is the fact that there is no HUD. The HUD is built into the suit. It's such a cool idea, and it's even better in 2, I think. But like, it's such a cool idea to show your health and your stasis on the same, like on the back of your, like on your back. It's just a really cool. I just love it. I love it. Various suits, my favorite thing in Metroid, because it's a mixture of the OG suit and the Dread suit. Oh yeah. I got that too. That is it's like that cool orange. It's so sick. Yes, and the ammo count is on the gun right there. Yeah, it's just like this is such a brilliant way to immerse yourself into the game. I'm really glad that they did that, because you know it's one of those things where like, okay, what's the main problem in a lot of horror games? Or the main thing you want to try and achieve, full immersion. One of the best ways to do that is to remove all barriers. The HUD is the barrier. Let's get rid of it. We did it, chapter 1. Chapter 1 and done, baby. Save my progress all the dang time. Because there's no autosave, I don't think. And if you don't save, then you lose progress. But at the moment, this game is kind of a game for babies. Granted, I'm only playing on medium, so.
It's all right, McCoy. He's here. Nothing to be afraid of.
Metroid Game.
I knew you would come.
Fusion's really good.
Just like you said. I saved this for you. Can I go now? McCoy wants to take me.
Use kinesis to move or throw objects.
This ain't spooky. Bill, you don't know. Bill, you're talking a big game. You're talking a big game. You don't even know what's going on. Look at these. Look at this is spooky. Look at the bodies. Ooh. Ooh. About that action? Oh, she's dead. Brrr. Brrr. Spin it around like a washing machine. Oh, it's so disrespectful. She's in a better place now. All right, let's go. Okay. Oh, kinesis. She was a nice lady.
Pick up schematics to add items to the store.
I hate the hunter in this game, the regenerating dude. Oh, yeah. What's the goal? So, Bill. All right. So, Bill wants to know what's happening. Let's just take a minute to let Bill know what's happening instead of him taking 5 seconds to Google it. We'll tell him and pause the game. Here, let me... No. I'll pause. I'll tell you right now. So, we're on a spaceship, and there's these big, weird monsters, and we're trying to escape. We did it. See, that was not so hard. Is Bill emotionally prepared for this? I don't know. He might be. Well, hold on. We do have a dad joke. Let's do the dad joke real quick. Dad joke. Dad joke. I have it. Hey, Obsolete. Did you hear about the pencil that had 2 erasers? Did you hear about the pencil that had 2 erasers? It was pointless. It was pointless. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Wunderbar. Wunderbar. Why is everyone playing Wallpaper Engine? Why are all of you playing Wallpaper Engine right now? I don't understand. There's like 4 people I know playing Wallpaper Engine or who have started playing it like the past like 20 minutes.
Isaac, are you there?
Yes.
You were attacked. Kendra's gone. 1 minute she was there.
Good.
I can't believe I lost her. We can still do this. Get me the captain's rig codes and we'll find Nicole.
I don't trust her.
Looks like the crew barricaded the door to the emergency wing. You have to blow through it to get to the morgue.
Spinner,
Get
smooth.
some thermite from medical storage and a shock pad from zero-G therapy. Should be down the corridor.
Communication is useless in all this static.
Trying to make some wallpapers. Trying to find anime Halloween girls to match my computer lights. Fair. Did I see your Metroid memes in the server? Of course I did. Did I comment on them? Probably not, because I'm very bad at doing that. But I did see them, and I will comment on them because I thought they were funny. I definitely got a good chuckle out of them at the very least. At the very least, I was like, yeah. Yeah. That's normally what happens. That's normally how it goes. I'll just like be scrolling through and be like, oh, that's funny. I don't know what's wrong with me. Then I say nothing. Boop, boop, this way. Think, Samus, think. Am I going to see the new Halloween movie? Halloween Kills. I really liked the remake they did in 2018. So probably, but not anytime soon, Bill. I really want to watch what's probably going to be one of my favorite movies.
All weapons have an alternate firing mode.
I know. I've done it a lot, game. Why did you try to counter my attacks? They made it in Wilmington? Shut up, really? Well, that's tight. I'll schedule that movie tour again. My least favorite thing of all time. Oh, I was so done. I was visiting Bill at school with my parents, and they decided to book this tour because like Wilmington is a really big movie shooting. Like they do a lot of TV stuff there and movies now apparently, and so they have like a movie tour. They also have like a ghost tour, which is like equally stupid, but like somewhat more fun because like they try and make it scary and it's not. Oh, good. You were scared. I'm scared right now. Bill said he was scared of the ghost tour in Wilmington. A poor man's alien. Stop it. You're so disrespectful, Bill. So disrespectful. It's definitely taking inspiration from the Alien movies. Go that way. Oh, no stasis. It's fine, we'll just one-shot kill them. They have ghost tours every year in Monticello. Taps. Oh. Ow! They got serious out here? They did. Yeah, it's definitely an action game. Definitely an action game. Are you so excited for the Dead Space remake? I hope they actually do something cool with it. I'm a little worried it's gonna just be like, so I need to do this. do. Did they tell me how to? Oh, it's weapons. Been on the tour before and can confirm I have scared a lot of old people. Oh, of course. Of course. Oh, all right. They said they were remaking everything from the ground up. Okay. Well, that's promising. That's definitely promising. I thought they were keeping the base engine. I thought they were keeping the base engine. Maybe I misheard that. I know that I know that they're making changes, but I thought they were keeping the base engine and then kind of update, like adding things to it. But I could be wrong. Story will have minor quality of life changes. Well, that's good. In the story? Hold on. Oh, this guy's dead. Yeah, oh, he's dead. That's what you heard. I'll believe you. Oops. Oops. Look, there's raspberry jam on the window. That's what that is. It's not blood. Raspberry jam. Let's kill this fool. What's up? What's up? It's a remake, not a remaster? I'll have to do some more research. I'll have to do some more research. Ow. It's very rude. Yeah. It's very rude. Okay. Look at all those babies. Yeah, these weird things that are popping out are mutated babies. They are necromorph babies. Ooh. I'll say I would have preferred Dead Space 2 remake because I love Dead Space 2 more than 1. That's generally what I hear as well. I actually haven't beaten Dead Space 2. I'm pretty sure I beat Dead Space 1, but I don't remember it, so that's why we're playing it again. That's why we're playing it again. But this is also one of the first games I bought on Steam. Isn't that fun? Hold up. Holding up. What, me not beating Dead Space 2? I know. Beat it? No. Played a lot of it? Played most of it? Yes. Finished it?
All right. That thermite you picked up should be able to melt through the barricade. Use the
I know it's a I know. You don't need to remind me of how shameful that is. Absolutely. I'm aware. I have a lot of games, okay? Steam. Bill, you know what Steam is? You have a Steam. Bill, you have a Steam, don't you? I think the last time you logged in was like 2011. Please tell me you're playing Dead Space 2 after this one. In spooky season? This spooky season? No. No, I'm not. This will probably be the last game for spooky season. 2015 probably. You stole the joy of video games from me. Yeah, you keep saying that, and yet I keep reminding you that I did buy you an Xbox One and offered to buy more than that, but you said no. So it seems like you stole that from yourself. And also, Kim would say that that's BS because you play games all the time. At least more than you say you do. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. When the depression of spooky season only lasting a month, it's yeah, I know. But to be fair, that's why I did play through. Oh, good shot. I did play through Fear 2, even though I wanted to play through Fear 2 and 3. I was like, I'm just gonna play Fear 2. Spooky season, spooky season, spooky season. It is spooky season. Bill's very excited about spooky season, I can tell. So yeah, I played through Fear 2. I played Fear 1, like the original Fear, in last spooky season. So it's gonna be great. Excited for is Metroid season? Yeah, Metroid season is gonna be good. I'm still I don't think that far ahead, by the way, but I do try and think somewhat far ahead, and I'm pretty sure I can make that work. Pretty sure I can make that work. What candy did we get for Halloween? The normal stuff. The normal stuff. You want some? Buy some. You have money. Well, actually, no, you don't. You just bought a house, so maybe not. Anything anyone here is super hyped for game-wise in the next year? I was really hyped for Dread, and still am. That game is just really good. I do want that. Do I? Yes. Nah, bruh. What do you mean? Why don't you want some? Why don't you want some, Bill? I can't think of anything else through the end of the year, Samir. I can't think of anything else that's like really coming out that I'm like dying to play. There's some stuff that I'd be like, oh yeah, that'd be really cool. But actually, a lot of that's next year. Like Bayonetta 3 is gonna be really tight. That's next year. What's coming out rest of the year, Samir? Remind me. Remind me. Oh, hello. Remember, you can carry this test tube with you as well. Stop trying to be spooky. 2042. I'm not a Battlefield guy, so I'm glad that you're excited for that. Uh-oh. Goldfish is my favorite snack ever. Well, yeah. Ragnarok isn't Ragnarok next year? That's also next year. All these are next year. Within the next year. Okay, so within 2022. I see. I see. I thought you were talking about like through the rest of this year. Try something. Try something. I got full stasis, baby. Full stasis, baby. You didn't even want to try it. He didn't even want to try it. Extra cheddar, though? Yes. Stasis. Duration. More energy. I've found that the more energy is really good on this. How's that Florida heat? Non-existent. It is fantastic. Far Cry 6, 2042, and Vanguard are really the only games releasing through the end of the year. And Far Cry is going to be bad, so... I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Everyone, it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. I really hope that 2042 has some like decent... I hope it's decent. I'm really afraid that it's going to be more of the same. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the servers will be fine. And by more of the same, I mean more of the same in terms of like the servers just kind of being whatever. Favorite Dead Space area is probably the school in Dead Space 2. Oh yeah. Far Cry 6 got a 76 on Metacritic, which is basically like whatever. A 76 on Metacritic is basically like it's fine. Right, not bad, not great. Everyone's gonna be wishy-washy about it. Oh, it worked, yeah. It's a game. That's fair. Yeah, exactly. Last three Far Cry games have been pretty meh. I agree. Blood Dragon, however, best game that Ubisoft has made in a very long time. What a great game. What a great game, Blood Dragon. Soon? What do you mean soon, Samir? It's been doing it since Far Cry 3 came out. It's had the treatment. You gonna turn? It's not quite every year, but like it's basically every other year. I don't trust this. Yeah, enjoy that, no head. I think Far Cry has had that treatment and will continue to have that treatment. It's not quite every year, but it kind of is. Because they have those like spin-off games like New Dawn and Primal. Like New Dawn and Primal were like spin-offs, right? I think they came out like a year after their respective series. And then I think it's like a few years off and a whole bunch of new systems that look fun but don't add much to the game. Like when they added RPG elements to Origins. Did they add a lot of systems? Meaningful systems? Or systems for the sake of systems? I'm going with that. Oh, the big thing over there. Systems for the sake of systems. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what they've done with like 6. Like 6 is kind of them just being like, okay, here's this like super hyper political game, which is fine, I don't really care. But also you can like, it's just so weird. I just don't know who that game's for. It's so weird. It's like kind of racist too. I'm just like, I don't understand it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Referring to when Syndicate came out and it was a huge flop and they said, we'll fix it. And then yeah. That's true. So what you're saying is they're going to take Far Cry and they're going to do that same thing where like they take a couple years off and then fix it by adding a system for the sake of adding a system. My argument is that that's what they just did to Far Cry 6. My argument is that's what they just did. I agree with you. They just did that. Like, it's fine. Did they add a bunch of stuff? So you have pets. It is more the same, but this is my point. They added pets, like, I forget what they call them, but like they're animal buddies essentially, because you got to have animal buddies. They have a whole more different crafting system than 5. And there's a new, more interesting, like they've taken the political aspects of 5 and like ramped them up even more, which is like, okay, fine, whatever. But then they've added, there's Far Cry 6 also has like a, I'm not going to say it because Twitch, but a rooster, like a rooster fighting game, a rooster fighting mini game. They had, well, I know they had mercenaries, I didn't know they had pets. So if they had that, then yeah, it's the same thing. Oh, here we go. This part's awesome. This part is super cool because there's no sound. How can I forget about Cheeseburger? Like that, apparently. Like the way that I did, apparently.
As you know, the Ishimura is able to set its gravity locally.
I didn't really enjoy 5. I didn't play that much. I didn't play Far Cry 4 or 5 that much. I played it a little bit and I was like, this game's not for me, so I didn't even end up buying it. Deactivating gravity.
Your ammo counter will flash red if you can't jump to a surface.
jump up here. This is sick. This thing right here is sick. And very disorienting. You put like 15 hours into 5 and then just stopped. So that's all I've heard of like what most people have done. They've just been like, yeah, it's fine. And then like they never touch it again. Aha. Didn't grab your attention like 3 did. Yeah, it makes sense. It kind of makes sense.
Exiting 0 gravity.
Because like 3 again, context. I think that the context of like when a game comes out is super important to like its longevity, or at least its in quote unquote importance in gaming.
Moving through the vents. Stay safe, Isaac.
Which is such like a weird thing to say, like importance in video games. It's whatever. My point being, like the time in which 3 came out. It was a big, like, breath of fresh air. For, like, the whole... Hold on. Here we go. Beating Race's head in with a shovel with a smiley face on it was fun though. That's fair. That's fair. But like, but how long can that really like sustain your attention, right? That's the real question. It's like, yeah, that's fine for a little bit, but like, really, is that like a full, in Ubisoft's mind, like a 20-hour game? Like, right? Like, I don't know. Yeah, and 15 hours is like the minimum, right? It's like the minimal amount of time you need to put into it to like really not get it, but like quote unquote enjoy it. Like feel like your time has been used correctly. Hello, Cat Paul. Hold on. Didn't even get 20. Yeah, that's my whole thing. It's like you're not even 25% of the 15 hours and you're not even 25% of the way done is insane to me. That's insane. 15 hours is short. Only because you only play JRPGs. Only because you only play JRPGs. Oh yeah, never mind. Farming and farting around both work, that's fine. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Cat Paul, that is not. Get out of here. Try it. I see you in there. Punk. That is not a good. That is not a good time value proposition. Far Cry 5 is what he was. What we're talking about. We're talking about the Far Cry series, and really just kind of Ubisoft in general, like coming out with these like really long games just for the sake of them being long. Like my thing with freaking Ubisoft is I would wish they would make shorter games with the systems that they have, because their systems are fun. Their systems are really fun, but I think they try and stretch them out too long. It's ridiculous. Honestly, something like but I hate how long chapters are in Dead Space. That's fair. The last game you played was 60 hours. Well, look, we can't all have the dedication like you do. No. 70 in Persona 5 is not even close to it. It's not even close to all of it. Tales of Symphonia, yeah. And how many what playthrough was that, Cat Paul? Cool. Cool. I've beat it 5 times. Yeah. Five times. Sorry I'm talking about Dread so much, but I got so lost so many times. Yeah. Did you really get lost? I don't know, man. I think that's what I like about it. Like that's kind of what I like about Metroid kind of games like that. I don't know how many times I started a playthrough of Symphonia though. I want to judge, but I probably have close to 1,000 hours to start it. Yeah, you can't. You can't judge with your starting playthroughs. Everyone has that game. It's totally fine. Everyone has that game that they just like get obsessed with, and then they just keep playing it over and over again, even though like there are more different and better games to play. Like I get it. I get it. Mine is Resident Evil 4. I've started and beaten that game so many freaking times. It's absurd. It's truly absurd. I had to watch it. I had to watch a walkthrough to figure out where to go. Oh no! What? In what part? Was it later on? Don't tell me if you don't know, or if it's gonna spoil anything. Oh, we made a bomb. That's right. That's okay though. I mean, like that's actually absolutely, that's one of the best things about like modern gaming, in my opinion, is like you can get stuck somewhere and then the information's out there like that. You don't have to spend, because like again with Super Metroid, like here's old man speaking. Here's old man speaking. Back in my day, you had to figure it out yourself and talk to your friends. We didn't have this newfangled interwebs to tell us all of the information we needed at any given moment. And I realized that that sucks for me to say that out loud, and I hate myself for saying it, but that's the truth. And like, you know, I got stuck a lot of times in Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, and I had to like wait.
Okay, you're through.
And then talk to a buddy and then be like, oh, that, right. How many copies do I have of RE4? 7.
This is Senior Medical Officer Nicole Brennan transmitting ship-wide.
7.
We need more help. We don't have the resources to deal with this many cases. Nobody would tell us what's happening.
I have horrible navigation. That's all right.
These wounds, we are not equipped to deal with this.
Also, this is... So also, for anyone who still does not know, we are playing the protagonist's name is Isaac Clarke. He's a silent protagonist in this game. He has a voice in the other games. Not really relevant. That's his girlfriend, and he's trying to find her.
Get him to the table. Hold him. Nurse, you hold him down.
Yeah, nurse, hold him down. I don't know how many hours I put into Stardew, Harvest Moon, Story Seasons, and Rune Factory.
When that log was made.
Listen, I get it.
I'm sure she's around here somewhere.
I've got a buddy who like got obsessed with the Mass Effect trilogy. I think he played through the entire Mass Effect trilogy. The entire Mass Effect trilogy 4 times. 4 times. 4 times. New character each time. And like there were several times that he like got through to like the beginning of 3 and was like, I didn't like the way that like my playthrough went. I'm gonna restart. So I would say that like he got through probably like, I don't know, 4 that he beat all the way through. But also, just so we're clear, that's the only game he played. That's all he played, which is fine. Hey, no spoilers, obsolete. Where are you at? That's all good. Nothing. So Jay and FIFA. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, just... Oh, we don't need to delete. That's fine. These are the enemies you hate the most. These are super annoying in this game. Very true. I heard about Jade in FIFA. Sad to see. He likes it. Don't hate him for that. Everyone played this game so much, my instincts just decided to think it's, oh, they know everything. Yeah. It's fair. Yeah, those guys are the worst. I agree, Tanner. They're terrible. As I play this, like the more I play this, the more I'm like, oh, I actually remember like what this is, and oh yeah, then this happens, and blah blah blah. But I'm trying to not say anything, just in case someone's watching it and doesn't know what's going on. Jay just has questionable BVS opinions. Well, I mean, Jay just likes different stuff than I do. That's fine. It's great. It's actually really interesting because then I get to talk to him about stuff like FIFA Ultimate Team, and like it's so interesting to me because like I have no concept for it. He just gets to explain it, and I get to listen and go, "Wow, that's crazy." Jay is a cool guy. I think he's great, as evidenced by the fact that I keep doing a podcast with him, and I've been friends with him for like 10 years, something like that. Jay's great. Jay's great. Where am I going? Okay, this way. Oh, so... Oh, hello, everybody. So, everyone, I appreciate all of you who stuck around, by the way, for the, Evil Within 2... Everyone who stuck around for the Evil Within 2 extravaganza, we'll say, on Thursday. We've beat that game. It was worth it. 100% worth it. Hold on. I love the red they decided to paint the room with. I know it's a really good vibe. It really sets the tone well. But anyway, like I was saying, I appreciate everyone sticking around for the Evil Within 2 extravaganza on Thursday. We did beat the game. It was very worth it. And you read the summary of Evil Within 2. Okay. And you reread 1. Okay. Yes. Cat ball. I think we know where Ruvik is. Do you know where Ruvik is?
Hello? Can anybody hear me?
I think he is, but I'm not. I think it's ambiguous on purpose.
Everybody was gone. I don't know what's happening.
I think it's ambiguous on purpose. What I do know, because I went back through, and what I was going to say is after I beat Evil Within 2, I was having such a good time with it. This guy's not having a great time. This guy's not having a great time. Oh, not a great time. That's not where that goes. That's not where that goes. I think he may have rebooted the stem at the end of 2. That's what I think people are saying, yeah. But after I beat Evil Within 2 on stream, I kept playing for 3 hours on a brand new playthrough. Just by the way, that actually did happen. Hold on. Okay. Anyway, what was I saying? What was I saying? Evil Within 2? Yeah, started a new playthrough on easy mode on New Game Plus. And oh man, I went back through and got literally everything in the game. I literally got every collectible in the game. The only thing I'm missing is one weapon, and the only way you can get it is by beating Nightmare Mode, and I'm just not going to do that. So I think I have like 3 achievements that I can't get, or I don't have. One of them is beat the game on Nightmare Mode. So if I ever decide to beat the game on Nightmare Mode, I will unlock that achievement, and then also immediately get the other achievement, which is get all the weapons. And the new weapon you get is just brass knuckles. Is that Kendra? No. This is a new, more different lady. Oh! Not ideal. Not ideal. So anyway, I got a little upset with it, is all I'm saying. And I did binge an entire new playthrough. That game goes way faster if you have maxed out stamina, which I did immediately. And then if you skip every cutscene. I did an entire new playthrough in like 7 hours. Entire new playthrough. I just saw the snuck in duck memes was not prepared. What'd you put in duck memes? You put a snake in duck memes? What happened? It's rude. Hold on. A snuck? What's a snuck? A sneaky duck?
Science log, Chief Science Officer Dr. Kine reporting.
I'm gonna be honest, I tried to beat Dread in a single run and it was actually impossible. That's how long Dread is. It's only 8 hours. It is only 8 hours, but 8 hours is a long time to try and beat a single game in. And I also did not do that with Evil Within 2, just so we're on the same page. I played for 3 more hours on a new playthrough and was like, I'll beat this tomorrow, and came back and beat it on Saturday.
The colony's problems concern me greatly.
It was, check duck memes to find out. I will have to do that. Come on. A single run. The last game that I did a single run of, like a single full run that wasn't like a short, like under 2 hour game, was Metal Gear Solid 4. And I do not recommend it. I do not recommend it. Do you think we're gonna fight things in here? Do you think? It's my favorite power up in Dread right now. So the only ones I have, Obsolete. I just got the wide beam and the morph ball bomb. And I really like the wave beam's pretty tight. But I've always liked that. Hold on. Oh, I hate those things. That's the one that makes more necromorphs. Come on, buddy. Metal Gear Solid 4. Yes, I beat that entire thing in one sitting. Don't recommend it.
I'll start accessing the captain's records right now.
Do not recommend it.
And I'll contact you there. I'm going to find out what the hell happened to this ship.
But absolutely, to answer your question, my favorite thing right now, I'm really liking the wide beam. I don't have everything yet, so that will probably change. But wide beam is pretty great. The counter also is super tight. Morph ball, because of how unrealistic it is very unrealistic. I like that. Cat Paul, what are your thoughts on Evil Within now? As a franchise, like as a series, or the second one specifically? Which one would you like to know about? Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Tell me about it, Samir. It was rough-a-roni. The second one, I still think that the second game is the best game I've played this year so far. Or finished this year so far, because Dread is really good. Dread will probably be my favorite game of the year. I can kind of already tell. But Evil Within 2 is really giving it a run for its money. It's a very good game. And really, really underrated. Like, not a lot of people played that game, which is really unfortunate. I'm really glad that Tango Gameworks is making more games, though, because they're coming out with a new game called Tokyo Ghostwire. and based on the things that they did to improve the improvements from Evil Within 1 to Evil Within 2 were so big that like it was such a huge jump in quality that like Tango Gameworks has kind of become one of those developers now where I'm like, I don't really care what you make, I'm gonna pay attention. Freeze! I did beat Octo Expansion in one sitting and I hated myself. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Is there a stasis? Hey, we got any stasis boys in here? We don't? Okay. Oh, that's fine. Oh, yeah, we do. No, it's auction. Close enough. The Octo Expansion. How long is the Octo Expansion? Absolute. Check it out on howlongtobeat.com. I don't remember how long that one is.
Isaac. Somehow one of them found a way down to the captain's nest. I managed to contain it in a...
The captain's nest?
Pod. Lifting executive lockdown now. I found the deck logs. Whatever is happening around here, it came from the planet when they cracked it open.
Ah.
It spread to the colony and reached the ship.
This is such a cool idea.
Isaac, this isn't an infection. It's some form of alien life. Shit, we've got bigger problems. The ship's engines are offline and our orbit is decaying.
8 hours?
Go to the
Dang.
engineering deck ASAP while I stay here and figure out where the...
All right, Absolute. True gamer. Absolute true gamer. We know that. You just checked. Nice. Pulse rounds. For the pulse rifle. Oh. Well... Something this game does a lot, by the way, is it'll spawn in a necromorph behind you silently. Not a huge fan. What kind of mouse do I have for my computer? I have a couple, but I'm currently using a G305. Just a simple G305. What? 0 out of 10, yeah. It just does have to, like, again, like the whole concept of this game is like, how can we be as spooky as possible? And at the time, jump scares were like it. Not it, but like that was what a lot of people were doing. So you don't like that spawn? What do you mean? What do you mean? No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine, Cat Paw. G402 if you want it. I might think about that. I also I switched to this from a oh gosh, what's it called? Glorious Model O that I still really like. Mostly time to mines. Do I need anything? Do I really need anything? I'll grab this. I'll grab that, just for the sake of it. I would die. I really liked my, Thank you. I did switch from the Glorious model to this because I wanted a wireless option. I'm liking it. It's light enough. I kind of want to, I was contemplating getting one of those Glorious Model 0 wireless ones because they have a wireless model and I really like the shape of that. But for the time being, this was super cheap and it functions. And I'm not playing a ton of games on my mouse and keyboard at the moment, so it's not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal. There's also apparently a bug where if you continue this game without just loading it, it like breaks, which is just tight. It's super cool. We all love that.
You've got two problems.
Two
We're working
problems.
overtime here. First, there's no fuel in the engines. Second, the gravity centrifuge is offline, which means there's a couple of trillion tons of rock pulling us down. I need you to get that centrifuge operational. Refuel the main engine and fire it up so I can stabilize the ship's orbit.
So this is one of the things that I think they improved in the second game is like the sense of actual urgency from like yourself. Like the in this game stuff just kind of happens and you get told what to do, right? In the second game there's more of a from what I remember, there's more of a reason to like go forward and try stuff. Like there's more of an impetus of like, oh, we need to go that direction and go over there because of this thing that's happening. Hey, Ace, what's up? What if I have more than 2 problems? I mean, then you're not Jay-Z. I mean, that's it. Then you're not Jay-Z because he's got 99 problems.
Personal log. Active.
That's it. Hey, Bacon. Thank you. Thank you, Bacon. Ah, tasty. Tasty. Thank you, edible bacon. I appreciate that. Where am I going? Who needs that map? This thing right here, this like show you where you go thing, kind of breaks the immersion a little bit, but it's not that bad. Fact, you have to move forward because you need to move forward to escape and survive. True. True. I'm good, just went through a scare. What happened? A scare? No me gusta. This guy's alive. Scares us poopy. I hope you're okay. Living at work? Always. Well, in this game, it's just, oh, hey, go do that. You have to move forward because you need to move forward. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Let me know if I need to beat up Sean. He's very active in chat here. And also the Discord.
What
So.
is going on here? Danvers, Henderson, he's crazy.
An air tag under your license plate. Tight. Oh, Lord. Yeah, no kidding, Ace. Jeez.
Relax. He's alive.
Sorry about that. The first instinct I had when those things came out was like, somebody's going to be a real dink about these things. Yeah, 0 out of 10, no, for sure. For sure. The good news about that. Small thing. Thank God my brother left his phone in my car. Yeah, there you go. So you're like, wait, what is that? Why do I see that? The good news is if it's tied to an account, which it probably is, they can track exactly who owns it. They can actually tell you exactly who owns it. That's one of the few things that Apple is actually willing to like cooperate on. Right. Yeah. Same. Do I have it? I have 2. Yes, more damage. Let's go. Well, I'm glad that you found it, because that would have been the absolute worst of all time. This game does have the spooks. This game definitely does have the spooks. So, Ace, other than that, how are you doing? I now want to check our car's license plate. Yeah, no kidding. I would say I would do the same thing with my wife's car, but she has an iPhone. Small benefit of being an iPhone person, I guess. Yeah, I'm also happy you're okay, Ace. That sucks. I'm really sorry about that. It makes me very upset. Like more upset than it should. Like it sucks when like my friends who are guys like get messed with and like, you know, whatever. But it really makes me mad when like my friends who like are just women and like do like just being a woman and get like harassed for like just being a woman. I'm like, would you just stop, people, please, for like a minute? Just everyone stop being so terrible for like a second. Jeez. I'm gonna leave in a bit when the police come. No problem. No problem. Just wish there's so much of me that I'm like, would people just stop being creeps? It's so, guys, it's so easy to not be a creep. It's so easy to not be a creep. You know how easy it is to not be a creep? You just don't be a creep. Pro advice from your old pal Yuke. The easiest way to not be a creep is to just not be a creep. If you're having a thought about like, you know what I could do? I could be creepy. Just don't do it and you're probably fine. Right? Super easy. Super easy concept. But please no one be creepy. I wish old people stop being creeps. I love it when old men flirt with me at work. It's so great. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I would give it to the cops. Luckily, my car is in front of a security camera, so I'm not sure why they would. Oh my gosh. So what you're telling me is like these are the dumbest people of all time, Ace. Whoever this creep is not only are they a creep, but they're also borderline incompetent. And not borderline, they are incompetent. I don't get why Metroid didn't get a new game sooner. Because the series never sold well. Absolute. I also hope the police get them. I got Sean. No. Give it to the cops. Figure out what this creep is, because you know the problem is that like this is you might be the first car that he's done this to. I hope this sounds bad, but I hope you're the first car that he's done this to. But like, and also I'm gonna just go ahead and assume it's a he. Feel like that's a fair assumption. But if you're not the first person this has happened to, like, it'd be real great to figure out what's going on so other people don't get hurt by it. What do you mean Metroid is so awesome from what I've watched and played? Yeah, but that doesn't... People don't buy the games that are good. People don't always buy good games. They typically buy the same game. It's a sad truth I have to agree with. Yeah, that's just the way it is. It's the way it is, absolutely. It's ridiculous. I don't fully grasp it either. I think Metroid's been one of those like it's such a consistently good series, and even Nintendo fans didn't buy it that much. Like when Fusion came out, people were mad at Fusion. People were like, Fusion's a huge step backwards. Fusion's also the most fun game that came out for a long time. Like the most fun Metroid game came out. The problem is it came out the same day as Metroid Prime. And Metroid Prime was such a huge step forward for the series that like it kind of set the expectations for Fusion. It was a little unfair. But I think Fusion was like one of the first Metroid games I actually played all the way through. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. People buy COD and FIFA and sports games over and over again, and it floods your local GameStop. Exactly. My dad called Samus Metroid for the longest time. Everyone does that. Everyone does that. It's so adorable though. Yeah, with as often as like COD is at the top of sales charts, like people, you know, the safe bet is making the same game every time. And even a company like, you know, Nintendo, who has a history of doing like their own unique weird thing, even they are like, okay, what's our safe bet? Okay, well, our safe bet is inventory full. Oh, that's not great. Need to do that. How's my stuff? Okay, I could use it. Oops. All right, hold on. Main 5 are Metroid, Metroid 2, Return of Samus, Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion, and Metroid Dread. You are correct. You are correct. No problem, Ace.
It's working, Isaac.
Yep, so that's right.
It's only a quarter full, but that's enough to restore orbit once you bring the engines online. What the hell? False alarm. Thought I saw something.
I don't trust this at all. I'm gonna try and grab that. I can't. Is the Prime Trilogy canon? Canon to what? Metroid? Yeah. Canon to the main Metroid timeline? No. Get out of here. So yes, technically it is canon, but it takes place in like a, I think it takes place before Metroid 2. You found more paperwork. Why would you find more paper? Don't do paperwork. Paperwork for what? That sounds boring. You're further behind than you thought? Good. Great. That's good. Sorry. Sorry, Catball. Not ideal. 10 weeks? Only 5 mainline games are canon, while everything else is, but not the mainline games. Yeah, so technically Metroid Prime is canon, but it's like a side story between 1 and 2. Or something like that. Just know that, like, yes, it's canon, but also not quite. It's fun. Just know it's fun. It's fun. It's a fun game. Absolutely. That's all you need to know. They're fun games. They're making another one. It's the longest I've been in my office for 10 weeks. Oh, good. Oh, good. You mean they're definitely... So what you're telling me is they're giving you plenty of time to actually do your job. That's what it sounds like, Cat Paul. Just plenty of time to actually do your job. Oops. Hold on. Metroid Prime 4 is the new one that they're making, yes. Come on. Come on through. People keep calling in, of course. Y'all coming out or what? Oh, you're leaving. No, you're not. Well, it looks like I'm buying Prime 4 when it comes out, and people quit or went back to school. Oh, good. So what you're saying is it's just like a super awesome time, Cat Paul. It sounds like what's happening. Yeah, absolutely. If you like Dread, I think you'll like that one a lot too. The Prime games are really good. They're similar in that like they're definitely Metroid games. You know what I mean? Like you're still like exploring and like, you know, getting new powers and whatever, but it's all from a first person perspective. It's really interesting. Still fun. Still fun. It's been a long few months. Yeah, sounds like it. The Ripper. If I remember correctly, the Ripper is quite bad. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, it is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. And like when that game came out, Obsolete, it made like there was this. It's again, I have to do old man thing. Prime is like the Twilight Princess of Metroid. No. Not really. Not really. Like Twilight Princess didn't do a whole lot to change the formula of Zelda. Honestly, like Twilight Princess is still very much a Zelda game. It's more like, gosh, how do I It's more like the Mario 64 of Zelda, or the Mario 64 of Metroid. Like it takes it in a whole. It's the Ocarina of Time of Metroid. Yeah, like a whole brand new thing. You know what I mean? Because again, like Twilight Princess is good, but like it's basically just like a cool mix of Majora's Mask and. Is this the eyeball part? No, it's not. Ah, crap. Ah, crap. Hold on. Hold on. This is a very good part. And by good, I mean it's V spooky. Hold, please. Is there another one? Freeze. I think that's it.
Decontamination sequence complete. Thank you for your patience.
No, thank you. That's funny. Thank you for your patience. We know you almost died, but whatever. It's fine. The zombies aren't real in this universe. Yeah, so it's Metroid Prime was kind of like that big giant step forward for the franchise. It does some stuff that I think in hindsight people would say like actually that may not have been the best thing to do. In Metroid Prime especially, there's a lot of required backtracking at the very end of the game that's really annoying. Which is a little unfortunate, but the 2D Metroid games especially, I think, at least like the remakes that came out afterwards, so like Zero Mission and Samus Returns on the 3DS, those learned a lot from the Prime series in a good way, I would say. So, you know, it's a fun, cool thing. Prime series is great. Big fan. 3 is a little tough to play because it's a little bit super gimmicky, in my opinion. Because, you know, it's a Wii game, so they're like, how many motion controls per capita can we put into this game? And the answer was a lot. Medium air gun. Come on. Come on. What is this? Sell at the store. Okay.
Exiting zero gravity.
Zero gravity. Here we go.
Entering zero gravity.
Where am I going? That way. Sora is it now in Smash? Are people liking him? Hey, leave me alone, buddy. Leave me alone, buddy. I'm not your buddy, friend. I'm not your friend, guy. No one gets that. I don't know yet. Just got a notification that someone's booting up. Nice.
Centrifuge power offline. Please attach generator modules manually. Then
Oh.
return to the station.
All right. I can do that. All right, take it easy.
Generator module attached.
All right, take it easy. I know how to video game. I know how to video game.
Generator module attached. Centrifuge power restored.
Centrifuge power restored, you say? What's up? How's your body? Bad, it looks like. Looks like it's bad, hombre. Ooh. The skills.
Centrifuge activated.
Let's go.
Reestablishing balance with planetary cargo.
Oops. Oopsies. This guy's having a very bad time. Very bad time. Oh no, do the shimmy. Oh. Oh, do it. Yeah. Look at him go. Look at him go. Get out of there.
Centrifuge and gyros are both 100% and stabilized.
Come on.
Now get out of there and focus on the
Man, he don't want to get out of there.
we have left.
What's up, Key? Man, he's just like, do the stanky leg. Oh, there you go. Oh, are we fixing him? We fixed him. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Ooh. Well, I'm dead. Whack. Yeah, activate the centrifuge.
Reestablishing balance with planetary cargo. Gravity restored. Entering vacuum.
Oh, there's a vacuum. We're in the vacuum. Oh. So we just gotta run.
You're doing great, Isaac.
Nope.
Centrifuge and gyros are both 100% and stabilized.
Nope,
Now
dead
get out
again.
of there and
Dead
focus
again.
on the engine.
Hold on. Hold, please. This guy's chatting at me. It won't let me run.
Centrifuge activated.
It won't let me run. Hold on.
Balance with planetary cargo. Gravity restored.
Shh. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine.
You're doing great, Isaac. Centrifuge and gyros are both 100% and stabilized. Now get out of there and focus on the engine. I don't know how much time we have left.
Why? 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 Why am I just like, I just stopped moving?
Centrifuge activated.
The stasis apparently did not work, although apparently it's telling me to do stasis, even though I did try stasis twice. And it was like, just kidding. Yeah.
You're doing great, Isaac. Centrifuge and gyros are both 100% and stabilized. Now get out of there and focus on the engine. I don't know how much time.
Oh, other way. Got it. Oh, look, there's pathways. I would've gotten there eventually. Nope. Can't make that. He's like feels like he's dying, but he's not actually dying. This is a little absurd. We got it, Catball. Calm down. We're fine. Tanner only had to explain what was happening. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. That's what I wanted to see. Once Tanner explained that all those were practice runs. All of them were practice runs. Y'all don't understand. You don't seem to get what practice runs are. You gotta test the boundaries of the game out sometimes, guys. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, yes, practice runs. All practice runs. I feel like there's a guy out here. Yeah, exactly. Y'all get it now. Y'all get it now. No panic, no panic, no panic. All fine, all good things. All good things.
Exiting vacuum.
Exiting vacuum. Exiting vacuum and saving so I don't have to do that BS part anymore. I was convinced I should be able to just like run through it or like stop it from moving for like a second. Sometimes you're wrong. And your eyes won't let you see anything. Hey, none of that. Hey, no. Nah. Shut up, Catball. I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again, okay? Fun. Man, this control feels good, though. Man, this control stick. Rude. The click. Yeah. I see you. Oh, he wants to rumble. That man's wanted to rumble. He said, "Can I rumble?" We said, "I guess, if you really want to." Seems like a bad idea. Seems like it's gonna go very poorly for you. But you know, whatever, you do you, I guess. Bro. Upgrade time, let's go. Make this. Hold on. I think we do need... Well, no, I can't give myself any more. So here we go, more of this. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Yes. Moss capacity, Moss speed. I feel like Moss speed. No, Moss reload. Moss reload. Do we go reload? You need that shot in your brain like Sebastian? True. True. Let's see here. You know what? Let's go for a more all-around build here. Am I right? All-around build. More range, you say? The problem is the plasma cutter is the best gun in this game. So why would I do anything else? The plasma cutter is still the best gun in this game. By a large margin. Oh, such a large margin. Tanner, am I right? Is this the best gun in this game? Let me hear a yes. Let me hear a absolutely yes. And absolutely yes. The last gun is good too, but yes it is. Boom. See? I know things about games. I read the internet forums. I go on r/Dead Space sometimes.
Can you hear me?
All right, chill, Kendra.
They attacked me. I ran for it, and Hammond he just disappeared.
Where are you?
You know you need this game a keyblade.
I've barricaded myself in the computer core. I can hear them moving outside, but I don't think they know I'm in here. I can log into everything from here. I hacked the route and found some reports.
Last gun fully upgraded, make short work of the final boss. Nice.
The colonists were experiencing widespread dementia. It seems to be related to some artifact they found on the planet. Something called the Marker.
Oh, the Marker.
I've got your location and I'm going to unlock the door to fuel storage. You can get to the engine chamber from there.
I don't know. Billow probably popped off. Billow stays on for like a good, let's say 45 minutes at max. But it's usually like 20 and it's just to like make some snarky comments. And then when I don't respond to him, he leaves. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Maybe he forgot his password again. Maybe. Could be. Most likely. Gold semiconductor. No need. No need. Perfect, perfect. I think we're good. Think we're good. Done for the night, Uke. It's dinner and movie time with my lady. Have a good rest of your stream. No problem, Samir. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being awesome per usual. Per usual. I'll have to set up another time to hang out, by the way. That was very fun. I enjoyed myself immensely. Place had a very specific vibe, we'll say. A very specific vibe. Where's the save station? I know you're here. There you are. But the beer was good, so. Do I want to save? Yes. Yes, I do. Here we go. Like-minded. Good. Glad we're on the same page. Let me in. Let me in. Load the game. There we go.
Entering zero gravity.
What? Oh, here. Got it. Chill.
Exiting zero gravity.
There we go. Easy. Easy. He's choking like he's dying. He's got like a whole like minute. I don't understand his problem. Just gonna turn that down a little bit. We're gonna turn it down a little bit. Just a smidgen. Just a smidgen for... Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. How's your ears? I know it's not that loud for y'all, but it sounds loud to me. And it's definitely louder than it was. What? Did I say, huh? What are words? How's it English? What? What? We'll figure it. Hey.
This is Temple. Screw the engine.
I really like... This is one of the few games where I actually appreciate the way that they did audio logs. Oh, hi, yeah. I'm back. You can hear me. Better than ever. What do you mean? The game got really loud all of a sudden? What do you mean? I don't understand. Going that way, huh? Okay, well, I'm gonna go this way. What do you have to say about that game? What do you have to say about that? Nothing. Gonna make me walk real slow right here. There's gonna be something jumping down, I'm sure. Something's freaking out. Yep. Symphonia did that a few times too. I feel like that's just kind of the way it goes sometimes. Just kind of the way it goes. It's all good. Stop it. Stop it. I will cut you to pieces. Come here. Try it. He's not here. He's gone. Got him. Got him to pieces. Cat Paw, I feel like you've got like a violent streak in you sometimes where you're just like, you know what? I'm over it. I'm over all these stupid customers getting up in my grill. I wanna play an action game where I can cut people like enemies into pieces. The way I might want to do it with my customers, I'm just assuming that this is how you feel sometimes about some of your customers. Again, just an assumption. What did I step on? Now what did I step on again? And what was that? So I re-injured my arm, right, and a customer decided to smack it. And so then you smack the customer. Right? Because that's what I would have done. Shoved his earbuds into your... What is wrong with people? No. Reload. Kill me. Got him. Yeah, exactly. Just like, cool that you decided to do that. Very, very cool. Very appropriate that you decided to do that. Hold on. What do I even have in here? 16 shots, you say. Okay. Is that enough? Yeah. Give me that. Let's go. Stasis module, baby. Stasis module. Power lock enabled. Pass. Come on through, baby. Oh, what happened? He didn't have a good time. Oh no. Come on down here. No, come on down here. Come on. No, I just need to waste ammo. Oh, cool. That did nothing. Yeah, not nearly as cool. Actually, I don't think that's a very good system. You know, I was thinking, I think a lot. I'm sure you do the same at Catball, right? I think a lot about like different systems and games, and I think often RPGs have some really unique systems, but sometimes they have some systems where I'm just like, you know, I don't know about that one. And you mentioned the you know, you level stuff up by how many shots you take. It got me thinking about, that reminded me of this game, Lord of the Rings: The Third Age. Yeah. And so Lord of the Rings: The Third Age is a lot like Final Fantasy II, actually. In that you level stuff up by how often you use it. Ratchet and Clank is enemies, I believe. See, that makes some kind of sense though, because like you use the gun in an action-oriented game to get more stuff done. What doesn't make sense is like in Lord of the Rings: Third Age, you get more weapon. You're like your powers. You get more powers by using your existing powers, which sounds okay until you realize like the number of times you need to do a single power to level it up is like 100. And so you use like the same move 100 times, and then you unlock another move, a more different move that is barely any different or is extremely different, aka not useful. And then like, yeah, I know 100's baby number, but my point being is like, it's just like, okay, so my instinct is boss battle coming up. A lot of stuff in here. Tales games are like that. Oh no. Oh no, Catball. Why do you play these games?
Ignition sequence initiated.
I feel like boss battle, right? Or at least combat arena. Slow down. We need to move. The first star is 1 hit, 150 or 100 uses, and level 2 is 500. But hold on, but in that game you're spamming like a specific attack, right? It's not like a full long animation, right? I think that's the main difference I'm saying though, is like if it's a quick thing, that's fine. The problem is in Lord of the Rings, you use the same tech art like 10 times. So you're using it a lot. How long is the animation? Not that long, right? Like relatively short, if I remember correctly. Yeah. One second. Hey, Requise.
It's working. We're online and functional. Finally, some good news.
Pause.
Get a tram to the bridge, Isaac.
I'm good, Requise.
Wait, we're not safe yet. Ship's asteroid defense
Hold on.
system is offline.
They're chatting.
On the way up, the ship's going to pass through a debris field thrown up from the planet crack. We'll be ripped to pieces unless you restart it.
God damn it. I'll start working on it from here. Isaac, meet me at the bridge. You can do more good.
I'm meeting at the bridge. Hold on, Requise. Hold on. We got there. Okay. Yes, I'm doing good, Requise. We're starting. This is game number 25 of the year tonight with Dead Space 1. I'm pretty sure I've beaten it before, but I don't remember. So here we are. And I'm also chatting with Catpaw here about video game systems and some good ones and some bad ones. And I was just mentioning how certain RPG games have just really horrible systems in them. And she was mentioning that the Tales games have this system where like you use the same move over and over and over again, and then it levels up. Oh my gosh, people, the exposition, it just keeps going. It's Nicole, yeah, it's Nicole. And so Catpaw, the problem with the one in Lord of the Rings: The Third Age is it's a whole move. You know how magic works in like Dragon Quest or like Final Fantasy, where like it takes a whole second, and it's like, you know, like a cloud goes like, and then like lightning comes out. Imagine that, but you have to do it 100 times to get like Thundaga. Like no, or Thundara. Like no, it's so annoying. This right here, this one enemy is a really good enemy. You know why? This has been the safest zone in the entire game until right just now, and also those two guys that were in here before. So enemies like that just really work for me. They just really work for me. So that's something we were talking about, Requise. Requise, do you know any games that have like an interesting system that you're like, wow, or like not even interesting, just like a system where you're like, I don't know if they thought that one through. I don't know if they really thought about why they should have this thing in there. They just decided to put it in there because they could. Because I think about that stuff constantly. And it's kind of a problem, but not always. Not off the top of your head, no problem. Because that's what I was mentioning is like one of the things that like really bums me out about not a lot of games, but some games where I'm like, this thing would be really cool if not for that one really bad decision. Like Yoshi's New Island on the 3DS. It's an okay game. It's not so bad. The problem is the music in that game is so atrociously bad that it makes that game so much worse. Like to the point where I don't recommend it. It's crazy. It shouldn't be that a single if a single piece of a game makes it like unplayable, you done messed up. I think. But there's so few games that do that thing, you know what I mean? Like even Lord of the Rings: Third Age, like as bad as that, like you have to use this thing a bunch to like upgrade your stuff. At least the RPG-ness of the game is actually still fun. You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't fun, it would just be like a huge waste of time. It's a little contrived because you're a second fellowship following the first fellowship.
Isaac,
so you know you do
right.
all of the different parts.
I'll need your help to fix this.
It's weird.
Kendra, if you can hear me, see if you can get to the
I now want to play more Arise. Nice.
It sounds like you have better access from there.
Requise, what have you been playing recently, Requise?
This marker.
What's new with you?
I don't know anything about that. It's referenced in the captain's records. They brought it up from the planet.
It's on the ship?
In cargo. They think it's of alien origin, but I don't know what the hell it is.
Really? CEC didn't know anything about it.
Did I ever play Dark Cloud? I own Dark Cloud. 2.
I am not the bad guy here.
2.
Ross shaky right now. You're gonna have to trust that I don't know anything about it.
Dark Cloud is good. Level 5 doesn't usually make bad games.
We've entered the debris field. Get to the captain's nest. I'll explain everything later.
Oh, the exposition. Oh, the exposition. Dark Cloud is very good. New World, Back for Blood, a decent amount. Okay, okay. That game is getting a lot more praise than actually I kind of thought it was going to be. 2 might be your favorite RPG. It's very good. It's very good. Here's a quick question for you. And Cat Paul, if you know the answer, don't say it out loud because you might know the answer. What is the name, the title of Dark Cloud in Europe? What's the title of Dark Cloud in Europe? Let's see if you got some trivia. No, it's Dark Chronicle. Don't know why. Don't know why. I feel like we're at boss territory. This is boss territory if I've ever seen one. All right, here we go, baby.
Warning. Hull breach detected.
Here we go.
Isaac, impact on the bridge, right at your feet.
Uh-huh.
Reading heavy damage, but containment looks solid. Life support is stabilized. We've got to get the ADS working.
Yeah, we're doing something, y'all. Hold on. Anyway, I really like that game, Tanner. Dark Cloud's very fun. They did, you know, level 3 suit. Oh, inventory is full, you say? Oh, okay. No. Cool. Flame fuel, tight. Definitely need that. Thank you. Definitely need that flame fuel. What other garbage do I have in here? Med packs are good. Do need those. Do need that. Do need the pulse rounds. All right.
Isaac. Damn, you scared me. The place is making me jumpy. Fucking asteroids coming through the roof.
Hey, take it easy. It's a family show, buddy.
Look, I know Kendra doesn't trust me, but I don't know anything about a marker or anything else. This is supposed to be a repair mission. Plain and simple. This mess
Oh, she's das. Ah.
is the asteroid defense system.
I did, yeah. I know it's bad.
These boards. The main power routing is shot. You're gonna have to reroute them manually through at
Should I
least
sell it and get the line rifle instead?
to activate the primary cannon.
Tell me.
Oh, but first,
Tell me,
you
Tanner.
need to
Be my
activate the
Sherpa.
atrium elevators from bridge security.
Tell me what I need.
Use them to get to the junction boxes.
I already have... this thing's very good. I'm using this because I have a lot of ammo for it, and I was considering selling
Be
it.
careful. I saw something out there. I don't know what. I only got a glimpse.
Sell it and buy nodes, just nodes, and upgrade this bad boy.
Really big.
So just always nodes all the time, huh? Okay. So basically what you're saying is buy nodes to upgrade your plasma cutter forever,
When I sealed the pod.
and then upgrade do you upgrade your suit, or you just save it for the last weapon? Because I'll play a whole plasma cutter playthrough. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. Just guide me. Let's fight this boss battle first, though, huh? Fully upgraded suit cutter and the last gun. That's it. Shoot it in the back. Freeze. Oh, like that? Got it.
Breach, come in.
Take it easy, buddy. Take it easy, friend. Eh? Wrong buttons. We're good. Come on, friend. Good, yes. Got him. Wham. Wham. I had that one on lock the whole time. I was just trying to waste ammo because I didn't feel like I needed it, you know. I definitely knew what I was doing on that one. Thank you, Tanner. Where am I at again? What we got here? Got plenty of stuff here. I need that. So you said suit, cutter, and the last gun. Okay. I can do that. I am capable of doing that. Requise mentioned Back for Blood, and all the other ammo you pick up you can sell for more nodes. Perfect. Requise mentioned Back for Blood, and I played the beta, right? I think I played the beta with Tanner a little bit, and Samir and Emmy. It was pretty fun, but I think all of us were kind of a little confused by the giant difficulty spike that's at the very beginning of the game. A little confusing as to like why you like it was forcing us to. Ooh. It's kind of forcing us to play through the game like once or twice on like baby mode, and then play it again on like the harder modes. It was just like, yeah, it was fine. Sir Caball's been playing it. I think they made the difficulty weird. I agree. Okay. Plasma cutter. Perfect. Reload. Yes. There. Yes. There. Yes. Perfect. And then the rig. Perfect. Perfect. We're getting there, fellas. The good news is, Tanner, I've committed 0 to the plasma rifle. I've committed 0 to it. Well, hey, look at that. Uno mas. Yeah, the difficulty thing, I get why they did it. It's to be like it's to artificially like make the game last longer. They were trying to get people to play all the campaigns before stepping up. Yes, exactly. Yeah, and I think it's kind of an artificial way to like make the game last longer. What I wish they would have done instead is like start you off with like a, hey everyone, here is the game. Like play the game like this. Here's the base difficulty level. And then after you beat the first run of campaigns, oh, by the way, now we've unlocked a new difficulty for you with more weapons in it, more whatever, like harder enemies, new enemy types, whatever. It was some feedback I actually gave them in the beta. You know, they sent a thing being like, hey, what did you think about the thing? And I was like, honestly, it was really confusing how you just kind of like threw every option out there, and it didn't guide me as a player at all. I don't need to be guided fully, but and especially in a game like that, you know, if it says veteran and it says like if you've played other like cooperative shooters, start here, and I have, and then we play that and we got our butts kicked because like it's not super what's the word? It's not super like friendly. Oh, that was good. It's a good scream. It's a good scream. It basically like it doesn't want you to actually play veteran first. I want you to play like all the the beginner mode first, and then slowly work your way up to veteran. Let's scream. And while there's nothing wrong with like having all those options to begin with, I think it can confuse the player and have them like, you know, it can be like, oh, that's actually like super confusing and weird. And then obviously the counterpoint to that is like, well, me and my friends are super elite gamers and we did it fine. So like, why do we have to kowtow to you and your baby self? And I guess I kind of understand that, but I don't know. Part of me just wants to say like, well, look, you can keep playing the game all you want, the way you want to, or like put a code in to be like, hey, if you're a veteran player, like play this first or something. Like put in this code and then do this and you're fine, or something like that. I don't know. There's ways around it. I know that for sure. And I'm not sure that just giving the player all of the options is a great solution. By the way, I started playing Majora's Mask. Nice. Have you played it before? Have you played it before? Because if you have not, very nice. But if you have, still nice. Still nice. You have. Okay, good. Are you playing the remake or the original?
It looks
like an emulated version of the original.
Is malfunctioning. Keep an eye out for any kind of
It's probably your favorite? Nice. I love that game.
It could be dangerous.
Although I will say, like, that game was really confusing to begin with for me. OG on Project Z4, let's go. So that game in particular was a little confusing for me when I first started playing it. Ooh. Oh. Did we talk about that? Okay. Yeah, I was like, wow, that's difficult. And confusing. And I'm like 10, so that's not ideal. But, oh well. But did I not grab that schematic? I did. Oh, it won't let me pick it up. Okay. I was very confused. Like, wait, why? Who is doing a jump? Oh, it's you. Yeah. Come on. Come this way. Oh, you're a smart boy. You're a smarty pants, huh? You think you're so smart, huh? I think you brought up that they don't tell you can slow down time. They don't anywhere. They do not anywhere. I don't even think they do in the manual. Which, like, at the very least, I could be like, okay, you mentioned it in the manual. That's fine. But where do they? Where do they? Tell me. Where do they do it? Hold on. Now I want to know. I want to know. Can you show me? I want to know about the strangers like me. You agree with me at the time? Well, tell me where. Is it in the manual? Is it like a cutscene that you can just like randomly stumble upon and like you can miss it? There is a scarecrow under the observatory. Okay. Pause. My point was not that there is not information in the game. My point was during a normal playthrough, there is no prompt to explain it to you. You have to find the information yourself. So maybe I wasn't clear enough. but I'm glad it's at least in the game. I wish they would have been like, by the way, you have to talk to the Scarecrow, and then if he was like, oh, and by the way, oops. Hold on. Ooh. Oh, he's not dead. Freeze. Got him. You can talk to him to skip to the last stage. You don't have to wait. And he's like, also, by the way, if you play the song backwards, time moves slower. Oh, right. Right. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll blame my dumb 10-year-old self for not remembering that. I'll blame my dumb 10-year-old self for not remembering that one. I was the same. Well, now at least I feel a little bit better because I'm like, well, at least I wasn't the only one. Because I heard that a lot. And I granted that, you know, you and I had the same experience, I would assume other people had the same experience as well.
Power transferred to the ADS.
Ship systems, junction box rerouted.
We did it.
Making some progress with the tracking grid.
All the reason we knew is because we had the guide. I figured out because a friend told me.
Keep moving.
So I had a buddy who was also playing the game at the same time, and he figured it out and told me. I was like, oh. Or like he picked it up like a year later or something like that. Or I forget. All I remember is I had a friend of mine tell me it, and I was like, oh, that makes total sense. And then magically I started having way more fun with the game. It's like, oh, crazy. Now here's the crazy part. Here's the crazy part. Why couldn't they have just done that? To, like, why couldn't that just be like the normal speed of time? That's the real question. Why can't that just be the normal speed of time, and then you do something special to make it go faster? Like, oh, I don't know, playing the song twice, like you already do. Maybe that's just me. I guess it's because the animations of everyone moves like super duper slow at normal speed. That kind of makes sense. That was very rude. I don't appreciate that at all. You get Lestomp because of that. You get a Lestomp because of that. If you play each note twice, it skips half a day. Yeah, it does do that. And they could have told you, like, yeah. You see, there's so many cool things. Like, I love a game that has like weird stuff in it, like you may or may not ever see. But also, like, if the stuff that you may or may not ever see is like relevant to the gameplay, that's kind of annoying. IMO. The Scarecrow also tells you about that. Of course he does. Of course this random Scarecrow does. So the Scarecrow may or may not, hold on. So the Scarecrow may or may not tell you about slowing time down. He tells you about one or the other. Is that what you're saying? Or is it he always tells you both? Or like, do you have to talk to him multiple times in order for him to tell you like, hey, by the way, you can do this thing. He tells you both? Oh. Well, now I feel silly. We're going up here, right? Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's go. Shimmy, 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 shake, shimmy, shimmy, shake, shimmy, 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 shimmy. There was also, I do want to mention, there was a time in 2008, 2009, especially after RE5 came out and Dead Space 2 was announced. There was a time when people thought that Resident Evil was going to die and be done as a franchise, and Dead Space was going to take over the mantle of like the good horror game, which would have been tight. But like, if you think about it now, you're like, oh, no way. Dead Space is fine, but like RE7, RE8, like, there's no way. It's just so funny that like looking back that far and like having been in it at the time, and even I was like, I don't know, Resident Evil's in some trouble, and I like Resident Evil 5. They should make another one with a new main character, another Dead Space game, because I agree. I think it'd be tight. I don't know if they will, but they should. The problem is EA doesn't like to take chances. Everything they make is safe. Every single game they make is safe. Oh, we're going here. But I would love it. One? I guess they'll tell us.
Isaac, listen up.
Yep.
I've gone over the MedSci reports. These things are biorecombinators. They take dead
Yeah,
tissue.
biorecombinators. We all know what it means.
One iteration seems to have the sole purpose of infecting corpses. The others, well, seem to be making corpses to infect. And that body tissue we keep seeing on the walls is part of it too. I found a report that says it's a habitat changer.
Oh. Lovely. Lovely. Anyway, I just like, as a self-proclaimed Resident Evil 5 apologist, even I will say when Resident Evil 5 like first came out, I was really worried for the future of the Resident Evil franchise. Like the fact that this was the most recent like other offering from a competing company. This game is significantly better. This game is significantly better for a lot of things. Or at a lot of things, I should say. Close the door. But again, self-proclaimed apologist. RE5's got a lot of really cool and really fun stuff going for it that you can't really get in other franchises, or you didn't get in franchises for a while. So, but I will tell you something, if you play that game not like if you play that game not in multiplayer, you're gonna have a real bad time. And that game is wonderful in multiplayer, in co-op, and horrible in single player. Just the worst. Man, is it bad. And I do still need to go through and actually play I do still need to go back through and play RE6 fully, play all the campaigns, because I think I played Chris's and maybe Leon's, but I don't remember playing more than that, which is unfortunate, because I think there's something to enjoy about this game somewhere, somehow, but as of right now, it's still a mystery to me. I have had a few people try and explain to me, they're like, no, those are the best ones, and like, they're not. Like, Resident Evil 2 Remake exists. That game's borderline perfect. I hear you. Oh, he died. Oh no. Oh no, he died again. Weird.
Power transferred to the ADS.
Control system suction box rerouted. I'm getting a reading. Almost there.
ADS. Come on through. Oh, coward. You coward. Tanner, I highly recommend. I know we were talking about controls. I highly recommend figuring out a way to play this game with a controller again, because this is just like superb. It just freaking works. It feels so natural. I love it. Love it. I love it. I have gotten pretty far. How you doing, Ace? How you doing? Hope you're all right. No cable? You can buy like a cheap adapter. Like a wireless adapter. They're like $8. Well, at least they were $8. They might be more expensive now. They're like, they look like this. They look like this. Just a little itty bitty tiny thing. That's how I'm playing it right now. Because like the play and charge cables don't actually work. They just charge. It's some BS. It is some BS. And I had a wired controller, but I decided I was never going to use it again because I have that thing, and like I have, I think, 5 or 6 of these controllers, and I was like, I don't need a wired one just also. So yeah, where am I going though? Hold on. Doing good, just 8. Nice. Oh, hold on, wait, that's a store. Store on 2, store on 2. What did you eat? What did you eat, Ace? Tell me what you ate. I want to know what you ate. Tell me now. Let us all know. We must all know what you've eaten. I'm going to sneeze, I think. Hold on. I was correct. I did sneeze. Store is over there. Perfect. What kind of soup? Thank you, thank you. Yes, what kind of soup? Cheddar and broccoli. Yum. Gosh, that sounds good. Level 3, let's go. Level 3 soup, baby. Here we go. Your mom made it for you right away. Good. Good. Stuff, everything sorted? Everything sorted? Did the police find the person? I was just saying if everything was sorted, but yeah, that. So Tanner says to sell the pulse rifle and the pulse rounds and to only buy nodes. They'll tell me when they get the info. Nice. Good. Only nodes. Okay. Makes me happy too. Very much. Okay. Wait. All right. We're good. Ooh, baby. The powerful boy. A powerful boy. Do I? Hold on. Do I have any other? Yeah, I do. A lot. Okay, good. Let's get up to the next area. And we'll do a little quick saveroni. Get the pepperoni. What do you say? Is there a save spot? Hold on. Yes, there is. The officer lady said I remind her of her daughter, so she was very upset when she heard of the error tag thing. Oh no. Well, at least they know about it now, right? That seems like a really expensive way, like, I don't know, like, that's so scummy. Pass on this guy. It's scummy, yeah. See? Very scummy. Then you can beat them up, then Sean won't beat them up. Sean won't beat them up. He'll think about it. He'll think about it. Are we good here? I think we might be good for the night, y'all. I think we might be good for the night. Are we right at the end here? We might be able... You know what? Hold on. We're right at the end here. No, we're not. We gotta do like a quick puzzle and then we gotta go all the way over there. Yeah, we're good here. We're good here for the night. I remember getting scared at this game at 13. This game would terrify me at 13. Are you kidding me? 13's a good number. Oh, you Kingdom Hearts people and your weird games and such. All your numbers and whatever. Everyone. Thank you for hanging out and being cool per usual. And watching me play this game better than I thought I was going to be honest with you. I have died more times than I should have, but also I wasn't really paying attention that one time, so it's fine. It's fine. Thank you, our Sherpa Tanner, for explaining the intricacies of this game to little old me. Everyone, I'll be back on Wednesday. More of this game. Having a blast with it, so obviously we're gonna keep playing it. I have no other announcements because everything else happens later in the week. But per usual, just keep an eye out for the old Casual Friday. If you haven't listened to last week's Casual Friday, if you haven't, listen to me. You need to do it. It's real good. It's real good. I know Ace already does. I know Catpaw does sometimes. And I know that other people do. I think Requise does. Other people do. It's good. You would enjoy it. You should. Just saying. Podcast good. See? Listen. I try. I know you do, Catpaw. So, everyone, I'm going to head off for the night. I appreciate you being cool, hanging out per usual. And I'll see you on Wednesday. So, see you later.